Hi, it's Dia. Today I'm going to take these Pilot Eno mechanical pencils that have colored leads. There's actually 8 in the set, but I'm only going to use 6 today. Here are the leads that I bought with the pencils because I was assuming I was going to like them and probably use them. And I'm going to color an image from the BUNS, and I'm going to use the artist edition. And I'm only going to use these 6 pencils and one Signo, what is it called? A Signo Uniball. It's the white gel pen at the very end. So what I thought I would do is see if these pencils are actually usable in a coloring book. I have, and I know some of you do also, many colored pencils. And I have many because I do videos and I like to do demos for you also. So I thought I would do something a little bit different because first of all, these are pencils that people might have on hand. They're mechanical, they could be used for highlighters, but they're usually, if ever, used for coloring. So, and I thought I would even make it a little more challenging and only use 6 of them. So I chose the green, the aqua, the blue, purple, pink, and yellow. And I wanted to see if I could make these crystals look even relatively decent. And the first thing I did was the first thing I thought I would do was just color them in. And rather than just making a whole side one color, I thought there might be some reflections. So as you can see here, I took yellow, turquoise, blue, purple, all of the colors, and I very lightly started to form what I thought would be some of the reflections on the sides of the crystals. I had no idea how these were going to lay down, and to be honest with you, when I very first started to use them, even before this video, I realized very quickly that I couldn't push too hard because they cracked, and I think that I thought I was going to use it like a regular colored pencil. These leads are 0.7 millimeters, and it's exponentially smaller than any colored pencil that we've ever used to color. So I had to get acclimated for a second or two just to get the touch figured out, because to use it like you're using a Prismacolor or a Guanghui or Polychromos, anything, it's very different. And then going back to what I was saying before, I wanted to use only a limited palette because not everybody has a million colored pencils. And it's very nice to watch somebody using a million colored pencils, but if you don't have them, it's probably not going to be the best video for you, and it leaves you sort of longing and wanting to be able to do that, but not being able to do that at that moment. So this is basically for anybody who has yellow, pink, green, blue, aqua, and purple. And I did use the white Signo at the end, like I said, but you don't even have to. I kind of went back and forth after the whole thing was finished, and I don't know if I liked it better with the white over the edges or if I should have left the black. Either way, it's fine. I like them both ways. So yes, if you even have a small set, this is very possible for you to do. A second or two ago, you saw me draw that pink line down the side of the front of the crystal, and I think I thought that it was going to be a reflection, but then all of a sudden that made me quickly realize that there's a back side of the crystal too. And these crystals are for the most part transparent, see-through, whatever you want to call it, you can see the back edges. So I'm doing another one here too. I'm kind of giving an indication of the back of the crystal. And I thought that added some dimension to it. And then later on in the video, I even added the bottom of the crystal. So if the crystal was pointing toward you a bit, you could see the bottom. So at this point, I'm going to do like a little mini review of these pencils. First of all, the colors are super nice. The pink is bordering neon. They're not muddy. They're soft. They're not quite pastel. I would say they're like one bump up from pastel, but they still give like a very nice, soft, glowy effect to these crystals. The yellow is probably more toward a soft lemon or banana versus a gold, so it fit right in. I would say the lead goes pretty quickly because it is kind of soft. I said before it's 0.7 millimeters. I don't know what the softness or hardness of the lead is because it doesn't tell me on the package. I'm looking right now on the lead refills, but it doesn't tell me there either. So they're soft, so they do go quickly, and yes, I would say they would make great highlighters for those of you who prefer pencils to markers. And surprisingly, they worked really nice for coloring. I like an intensely sharp point, and I've gone on eBay looking for these old Bic pens. They're accountant's pens because they're super fine, and I'll pay a little extra for them because I like them so much. These pencils kind of reminded me of that. It's probably better for a smaller space because the tip of the lead is so tiny. So first of all, you'll be able to get a super amount of detail. Not that I needed tons of detail in these crystals, but if you did, you would totally be able to because those points are tiny. But on the negative side, I don't think that it would be good for coloring a big area or trying to use the pencil on the side, meaning if you want to use like the side of the point, just because first of all they're going to crack, and second of all the point is itty bitty. As you can see, if they go over one another relatively well, I was kind of surprised. I would say that they feel a bit waxy versus graphite-ish or oil-based. I would say that they are probably a wax-based pencil. I didn't use the red or the orange in this particular picture, not because I didn't like the colors, but because I didn't feel like it fit with that particular set of crystals. The orange is more like a soft, kind of like a pink grapefruit color, and the red isn't a bright, bold red. It's kind of more like a soft ruby. So even those two colors are on the softer side. I would say the most vibrant colors in the set are the pink. Let me give you the exact colors. It's called pink. And what I was calling turquoise is called soft blue. And the purple that is also bright is called violet, which I'm using right there. I didn't use a pencil blender, meaning a white pencil, to blend these together at all, but later on I did use some turpenoid just to see what it was going to look like and to see if it would mess it up or how these pencils would actually respond with regular colored pencil supplies. I can't say they blend as well as Prismacolor or Polychromos, probably because the point is so tiny, probably because they're not meant specifically for coloring, but I have to tell you, I had a great time using these, and I would say that they're great to throw in your purse, and if you're somebody who likes to write on the go, draw on the go, or has a sketchbook, or even colors on the go, these are perfect. You can obviously retract the point and take them right with you. Now, about here, I was finishing up, and the green was a little harder to use than the other pencils. Nothing substantial, though. So here I took the Turbinoid with a very basic brush that I got at the dollar store, actually. It came in a set of neon watercolor paints, and I use it often, actually. and it's got a relatively decent point, and I use it for demos a lot. So what I'm doing here is quickly going over all the areas, and I have to say, it worked really well. The colors blended together well. They look even softer. They didn't get muddy. So that was a nice experiment too. And I was able to go right back in, go over the top, just like any other colored pencil. It did feel smooth. It felt, I don't know if you find this also, but when I use Turpenoid and if I go in while it's still a little bit damp, the pencils feel super smooth. So here's where I decided I was going to make the areas behind the back of the crystal become a little more prevalent in the image. I didn't know if I was going to ruin it, but I figured, you know what, it's okay. If I do, I'll show it anyway that I screwed up. But it's not perfect, but I might do a video on that just because it made the crystal look more dimensional. I would say the little yellow one on the right is the best example. It's probably the most see-through appearing because it is so light, and you can see what I thought would be the pink crystal reflection in the background, and then the blue on the bottom. Now here is where I took the Signo gel pen and I started to go over the top of all of the dividing lines in the original illustration. And I was kind of not quite knowing if I liked it or not, but I ended up doing the whole thing. And the other thing I always think about on these coloring books is that once you color and you go over the top of it with the Signo pen, if you don't like it, you can scratch it right off and then you have the original picture again. You have to be careful because you do have a couple layers down of colored pencil and you don't want to ruin that. So that's about it for now, and I'm going to put the links for those pencils below. And I do want to tell you, I didn't buy those pencils for this demo. I bought them for my son to take to college, and he never used them and ended up bringing them back last semester. So I thought it would be fun to give it a whirl. So like I said, that's it for now. And once again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you like this video, I hope you subscribe to me if you're not already subscribed. And if you like it, I hope you give me a thumbs up and maybe even share it with somebody that you think might like it also. So that's it. Thank you so much. More videos to come soon. See you soon. Bye.